Hey everybody, my name is Thomas and thank you so much for tuning in to another Evisceradio episode where I sit down with bands who I'm into and we talk about what's good in life, what's good in music, and everything in between. It is genuine YouTube content found right here. Thanks again for checking this one out. On this episode though, I've got something a little bit different lined up for you. Rather than talking to a band or a musician who I'm into or any music that they put out, I'm talking to someone who went on the other side of things and did some behind the scenes shit. I'm talking to Jon Lambert, who is the owner and founder of Noise Dosage Media. He went ahead and put out a death metal, extreme metal documentary called Between Exaltation and Aggression. And if you think you like your death metal, this guy loves his fucking death metal. And not only does he love his death metal, but he's got an eye for quality and research. He's gone above and beyond to get all kinds of bands in there to talk about how they got into their music and how they went through their lives with this kind of innate draw towards this particular kind of sound. It is fucking interesting, and it's a very cool thing that you should be checking out right now. I've been wanting to talk to Jon for a while now, and in this episode, it marks the beginning of branching out a little bit from talking to the musicians and stuff, but talking to other people who are involved with other aspects of the extreme metal genre. Like this guy does documentaries. There are people like myself who do podcasts on this stuff. There's a bigger sphere out there than just the musicians that are involved in creating the music that we love. So again, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's very, very cool. So without further ado, Jon Lambert. Yeah.
It would help if I wasn't muted.
Oh, the audio stuff, man. Fuck. Every time I have yet to have one like Zoom meeting where some technical glitch doesn't go off. Usually in my case, it's sometimes the computer just has to do a quick reset or something like that and just sort of reconnect all the dots and shit.
Yeah, I tried setting up my microphone and my podcast setup, but I don't know, it was acting up. So we'll get back to that one day.
Yeah, oh yeah, man, all in due time. I hear you on things just not working right. This episode, like I think I mentioned earlier, is hotspotted to my phone because the internet just shit the bed in this building here. And so like, here's hoping everything comes out all right.
I don't hear any delays or anything.
Yeah, it should be fine. I've trialed this out a few times over the course of the last couple of weeks, and like the audio has been good. The it's not pixelated garbage, which is nice.
I had to get this out of the frame.
Why are you getting that out of the frame, man? That should be really. You should be wearing that shit.
It was just really creepy. It was just hanging down like this.
No, creep me out at all, man. Did you see them when they came through town last?
Yeah. I mean, I see Slipknot and Stone Sour all the time.
As you should.
Slipknot really got me into everything, man. So
yeah. Megadeth was my turn for the. Is what started the path. Peace Elves, but who's buying 8 years old, man, and I never looked back.
Yeah. I've met Dave before.
Oh, did you?
Dave's an interesting character, man.
That's what they say.
Yeah, but yeah.
Cool, man. I'm sorry. What was that?
Are we all set? Is the audio good? Is everything?
Oh yeah, we're good to go, man. We're all good to go. We're recording right now.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah. So fucking finally, man. Jon, I've been looking forward to talking to you for a while now. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me. I'm glad that we worked through the delays with like work and scheduling and all that craziness that life sort of brings out. I've been really looking forward to talking to you, man. Oh, before I get into some things, thank you for putting the Evisceradio blurb on your first fanzine. I really do appreciate that. I got it right over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. But anyways, one of the things that I've been wanting to get into with this whole new YouTube venture that I'm doing is not just talking to bands and musicians and getting into like how they click and what their music about and all that kind of stuff. But like, there's a big sphere that involves like that whole community, whether it's like the musicians or like podcasters like myself or people who are into documentaries and like photography and shit like you. And I'm kind of wanting to get into the headspace of like all the people that are involved. Like the music speaks to everybody in a certain way and they run with that throughout the course of their lives. And like I took what I had and what I knew and kind of ran with that and seeing where it's going. And I'm really interested to pick your brain about like how it kind of came about with you and like how you hit the ground running, as so it seems. But like what fucking got you started in all this crazy shit?
Okay, well, first off, I want to say, just in general, anybody that I see that's doing something similar to what I've been doing, I massive respect. I mean, like, it's definitely something. It's a rabbit hole, man, but it's worth the rabbit hole because so many friendships and time well spent has been doing what you know what our same goal is, man. It's just to talk to like-minded musicians, artists, and stuff. And it's really cool that yeah, man, like look at your setup, man. Like
Well, yeah, thanks. It is kind of a pimp setup.
but but yeah, I just want to say that right off the bat. Like keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
People really fucking appreciate you know, even if it's super small, man, or super huge, like you I don't know, people just really yeah, respect the time that you put into this kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, and I could flip it on you too, man. What you've been doing for the last couple of years has been pretty fucking swell, and people are looking your way. And again, like mega props, man. The product that you put out is astoundingly fucking like of the highest quality. Like I watched between Exaltation and Aggression a number of times, and dude, like there's some forethought into that shit. Like you must have been percolating that baby for a while, man.
Well, I guess I mean you brought up the fact of let's bring up just how it came about. I mean, like
Yeah.
It's literally what you're doing right now. I mean, just my podcast really was to spark to everything. I think just the fact that learning that musicians and people that we look up to are just so like down to earth, man. And once I realized that everybody's so accessible in the metal scene, like I knew I wanted to do something.
Yeah.
I was a photographer like for a couple years. I mean, but that kind of developed into like, hey, I want to do something else. And the pandemic hit, and obviously, you know that bands were starving to play shows.
Oh yeah.
And basically, like, I kind of recognized that. I was like, holy shit, like all these people that I've talked to and built friendships with already, you know, are coming through and like I should be doing something. So once the pandemic hit, I was like, hey man, like let's link up, let's film something. And you know, kind of the puzzle pieces came together and I just kind of went for it. I mean,
Did
I'm
you
20.
fucking ever, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 23 years old, man, and I just really have a passion for music. And
You're how old?
23.
Holy shit.
So I mean, like, I don't know. I've always had a vision of, you know, doing something artistic with my life, and yeah, I'm just trying to learn any aspect of fucking art, I guess.
Hey man, it's like the coolest way or the best way to express yourself, man. I'm always looking for the same. There's all kinds of avenues in which you can like become the best version of yourself through whatever you put your hands on, whether it's writing music or painting or fucking or what have you. You know what I mean? I'm glad that you have the balls to go ahead and mix what you love with something that you want to find maybe in yourself and see where it takes you. You know what I mean? You'll learn lessons that way. You know what I mean? There's victories and that kind of shit, you know, like it's all to the journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I guess another thing that was really pushing me through the whole thing is just the fact that like it was a challenge. Because like before I started filming the documentary, I didn't know anything about video. I just didn't know anything.
Are you for real, man?
So it was like a learning curve, man, and that's why it's so big. It turned out to be huge because like every clip was just me trying to like, hey, is this angle better? Is this angle better? Is the audio sound like shit? But by the end, I feel like you know, I got something.
Yeah, totally, man. Did you ever? So this was so through the whole process of doing it, it was a like you were figuring it out as you went along kind of thing.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I didn't know. The only thing I knew how to do was photography. Um, and I still don't think I know shit about video. I mean, like I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing that kept that film fueled, is the fact that like I just was trying to learn how to do something I've never done before.
Yeah, fucking crazy, man. You totally fooled me. Like it looked like you had years of experience in doing what you did. Like
Well,
even sorry, what's that?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. Even the nuances too. Like I work in the film industry myself. My background is like theater, straight theater, musical theater, and I cut my teeth in that. And I'm a technician for film backstage. I don't do any camera editing. I'm a rigger. I fly people back and forth and I hang shit from the ceiling and stuff as per studios and stuff. That being said, it's I have it's a blessing slash curse to like watch something and pick it apart a little bit on the big screen or the little screen. And like as I was, what? Sorry.
I said, "Oh yeah, I can imagine."
Oh yeah, it kind of fucking ruins it actually. But anyways, as I was watching your video and like just checking out like the overall feel of it and stuff, like there's certain nuances that you got in there, like which totally seemed experienced. You know what I mean? Like there's a broad one, for example, is like when you're interviewing somebody and they're leaning on a particular thing, and there's this camera angle that you favor, or at least I thought you did. And
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and like it totally just seems like it's like a I hadn't seen anything like that before. They all did the same thing, and it kind of looked like a signature sort of thing to me. And I don't know if that was intended, but like it just looked really fucking good, man.
Well, it was tough because like I found an angle that worked. Like it didn't seem like I guess what I'm trying to say is the fact that the artist, it was very natural. Like the camera was kind of off to the side, and I don't know, it just looked good on a screen. So I just kind of went with it. And the fact that I didn't want to make it like I wanted to make it about the people themselves, not the fancy camera tricks. And I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they just have a little bit way too much. Like simplicity is key, man. Like,
Absolutely.
and I I appreciate you saying that, because like that was one thing where I'm like, I could have done a little bit better at like, like getting more angles in, but at the same time, like I'm just kind of like I said, I mean, I just went with it.
Well, dude, fucking like it worked to the overall scope of what you were doing. Like it just seemed like it was all intimate setting. You know what I'm saying? Like everything sort of looked. Every interviewee looked like they were in a similar comfortable position, and it just like it was an excellent addition to the overall like feel of the whole thing, man. Like it was just fucking pretty sweet. And not to mention like how many people you had on the thing too. Like I lost count of how many bands you had in there, man. Like fucking and a lot. That must have been a nightmare to line up everybody to like.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, let me put it this way, man. I spent a lot of time in the editing section, but what I did was like I like filmed, edited, put it to the side, and then edited again at the end. But yeah, there was a lot of people involved, but I'm just happy that everybody said like, yeah, I want to do it. Like I didn't really think that everybody would be so down with something like that.
Dude, same here. I have not had one band or anybody like turned down sitting on this show yet. Even though I'm only about like maybe almost a dozen episodes in, like everyone is like super stoked. Scheduling is a deal, but like everyone's like fucking gung ho. Like people who are just starting out to like people who are signed to like Metal Blade and Century Media and shit. Like they're all just like there's no going through agents or anything. They just everyone's got Instagram. Right. And you just, do you want to be on my shit? Send. And fucking, they'll get back to you and say, yeah. You know what I mean? It's fucking cool.
And I think that's the running joke with people that I've talked to, where they're like, hey, man, how'd you get a hold of X, Y, and Z? I'm like, bro, they have an email, or just message them direct. And like, somebody's going to see it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
for sure.
But yeah, it's funny you say that, because you said how many episodes in?
And this YouTube thing, you would be number 8, and I've got maybe about like 14 or 15 lined up for the end of the year.
Exactly. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and I think that's the coolest thing about podcasts, man. It's like the fact that everybody's just so down.
Yeah, everyone's into it, man. Like the internet is fucking wicked. Like Zoom is also super handy. Like people just want to sit in and just talk about their shit. You give anyone a platform to talk about anything, whether it's in front of some microphones or like in front of a video camera, like they'll give you the time, man. It's all exposure. Usually the people that are across from the person asking the questions are just like they're just into discussing what their passions are about. Like, and on top of that, like it's about like fucking death metal and extreme metal and shit, which is like I can't get enough of. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing here and seeing what the fuck's going on.
And I mean, I'll ask you this. I mean, I'm pretty sure that you said, I mean, I watched some of your other ones, but I'm pretty sure you said you're a guitar player, right?
That is correct.
So having like weekly guests, man, I'm a guitar player myself, and talking to people that have the same mindset and are like driven like that's the thing that I push people to be like, hey, start a podcast, because it's like a weekly reminder that like, hey man, you can do better. Hey, like, like spend some more time into the art thing, like it's just motivating, man. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, like, and I think the coolest thing is just building like friendships and just, yeah, staying motivated, because it's so easy to just fucking go down, man.
Ooh, yeah, complacency, and then that rhymes with apathy in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like if you let things slide a little bit too long, it's like fucking next week. Yeah, I don't want to play any guitar today. Yeah, you have to make room for these things because you're gonna grow up or you're gonna grow down. Either way, you're moving forward, and you kind of get to choose how you want to do that. And it's funny they mentioned the guitar playing. I go through peaks and valleys with this kind of thing. I do write. I record my own amateurish stuff here. I don't play anything death metal. I play the total opposite of it. I'm an acoustic player, and I have to make time in order to kind of get that craft down. Like the whole Evisceradio thing is one part of my life, but my guitar playing is another part, and it's another project that I kind of want to push while I'm out here in Toronto. And in balancing these things out kind of makes the world that is Thomas that much more I would hope interesting. It's definitely fulfilling. Yeah. It's definitely fulfilling, but it is always a challenge. And then there's the film schedule, which is another beast in itself. The work-life balance and life being guitar and social life and podcasting, et cetera, is a hard thing to grasp. Like while you were doing your documentary, like were your blinders on and did you just plow through that, or were you able to like leave time for like what they call a life? Yeah, I know.
I have these weird thing. It's just weird for me. Anything like musically or artistically, like when I work on something, that's like the only thing I think about. And I say that it's just creatively, like, it's one of those things where like if I have extra time, like I'm gonna spend it into that. Like just if I get stuck on something, I'll just walk away. But when it comes down to like, for example, I'm starting a new like documentary. It's all in local bands.
Yeah,
and I basically said to them, I'm like, look at, if you guys don't want to get together soon, like it's not gonna happen, because that's not how I work.
Yeah.
Like I have to be like super driven in the beginning or it's not gonna happen.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I work. I wouldn't say that I put my blinders on, but I will say that I was super focused for like a year.
Yeah, no joke. No joke. You were too. The posting that you were doing, like I knew you were involved in something.
Yeah, like just for a year. I mean, work was work, but at the same time, like that wasn't my focus, man. Like for a year, I mean, I was brewing shit up, and yeah, it was just, I would say, yeah, just super focused, man.
Was this was it like was all of this like a total solo venture? Like, is this a Jon Lambert thing? Like the shots, the post edits, that's all you.
Yeah, I don't have anybody. It's just me. I mean, like, I
God damn, man.
I I got a podcast and then I have the filming thing.
Yep.
But yeah, everything's me. I don't have anybody like help me with anything.
Oh, same here, man. It's pretty much preaching to the choir, dude. I do all the edits, I do all the posts, I do all the social media stuff could do better, but like it's just it's a one fucking pony show here. But it doesn't. Sorry.
It's hard too. Like uh just in general, like the social media, just keeping everything up to date and like keeping it interesting. It's very hard because I mean there's so many platforms, man.
Oh,
You know.
fucking tons.
What have you found like the hardest in, this adventure yourself? I mean,
Social media.
yeah.
So social media, 110%. The setting up and the editing and stuff, I'm pretty proficient at. I know my way. I use Reaper for audio. I use DaVinci Resolve for video. I'm quick on the editing board. That's no problem. It's having access to social media in my pocket and just the disdain for hauling the phone out to do it and the posting. And like really when you think about just like the labor that goes into it is like the least laborious thing at all. But I just have a hard time. I just have a hard time doing it. I have to force myself begrudgingly to like take the pictures, do the editing and do the hashtags and like, and get yourself out there. But in saying that, it's one of the biggest avenues in which your fan base is going to grow. Like you have to push yourself. You HAVT or HAVE, however you spell it, have to fucking push your shit out there, or else like it's not gonna do anything. I would say that aside from the social media stuff, fighting the burnout to keep it going, because I had said earlier, like my work life can be very consuming, and I have other projects on the go, and so like your clock is starting to go around, and you have more stuff to do, and like you said earlier, you have to keep driven and keep those things kind of going. And not that I let things fall to the wayside, but I do find myself slogging a little bit. But that's the definition of labor of love, man.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't say that I don't have any help. I mean, I have two artists, Brandon Jones, he's known as Benny Bones Art, and Matthew Rucky, Wither Designs. I mean, they help me a lot. They like basically create the things that I put on social media. So I just have to type it in and fucking send it.
Nice.
But I will say, man, like just staring at a screen for so long is very taxing.
Yeah.
And especially if you're not getting any like engagement or any type of like response back, you're just like, why am I doing this? But then again, I mean, like, people don't get into this to make money. They get into it because they're passionate about it,
You said it, man. You said it.
And I mean, that's why the documentary is free. Like, it's free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just passion,
All about the passion, man. I've a lot of people have asked, why I do what I do, and like, I mean, ultimately, it's selfish. I do it for me. I like doing this kind of stuff as an appreciation for what I'm into, that I take in sensory wise, which is like extreme metal music. It's the one thing that's been a constant through my life, and anything I can do to further knowledge or good tunes or recommendations or whatever in any avenue that I can, I feel like, that I almost should in a way. And with internet and Zoom and cameras and microphones, I'm able to kind of do that sort of thing. And it's never really it's never been about revenue. Like I would never charge for, I don't even know if you can charge for anything like this. It's not an interest of mine. I like to sit down and talk about this shit with like-minded people. Like it's I get off on it. It's great. And I can't see myself going in any other, I can't say any other direction, because who knows where things can lead. I mean, like I said earlier, it's all about the journey. But like it's all like you just said, one word, passion, man. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I know people that pay for like interviews and all that kind of shit, but like, that's not the people you want to talk to, man. Like, you're not getting you're not getting the real personality, man. Like,
No, there's no substance to that.
yeah, it's like talking to a robot. Like, nobody wants to do that.
Did you that happen to you? Did anyone demand cash out of you to fucking do a thing? You don't have to name names, but did you ever come across that?
Not a single person that was on that documentary asked for any type of money.
No shit.
But I didn't ask them because I wasn't like, hey, I want to do DVDs or anything like that. That just wasn't my focus with it. I just wanted to release it for free, and that was that. So I don't know. I don't know if I wanted to make revenue from it. It could have, made the project a lot different than what it was.
Sure, and being hindsight's 2020, there could have been a different way. Who knows? There could have been different ways to go about what you were doing in order to create revenue, as if it were the fucking leading thing on your mind or something. Like, I don't think dollar signs over here when I'm doing this stuff. I'm just having too much fun, man. Like,
I wanted to bring up the fact that you said that you're from Toronto.
No, I am not from Toronto. I'll correct you on that.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nova Scotia, which is Eastern Seaboard, Canada. Way off over there, coastal.
Okay, in direction of Toronto, where is that? Like, how far?
It would be 2,000-ish kilometers.
Wait, I want
to. You're gonna check that shit out. It's a 22-hour straight drive.
Nova Scotia. What is the last part? Nova Scotia what?
Scotia, Canada. Nova Scotia is the name of the province. And I'm from an island called Cape Breton, which is at the northern tip of that province.
Okay. I always love looking at. Okay. I got it.
You got it? Yeah. Yeah. I fucking lived there for pretty much most of my life in Halifax, which is the capital. And I decided that working theater, and I decided enough is enough. So I piled all my shit into a car and I drove my ass out to Toronto. Best decision I ever made.
So would you say that the scene out there is pretty, I don't know. I mean, like.
Fucking ask me questions, man. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay. Now I got it on Google Maps. Okay, you're the other side of fucking Toronto. You're on the right. You're to the right.
If I'm looking at a map?
Yeah, if you're looking at New York, you're to the right.
Oh, I see. In terms of latitude.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. I see. So I'm right smack in the middle. Toronto is the hugest hub for bands coming in and out. Oh, you were asking about like what's the scene down here like?
Yeah.
Dude, this fucking place is bonkers for metal. Holy shit. No one ever comes to Halifax. That was another big reason why I came out here. And last spring, I blew like my live show fuse. Like I checked out so much shit in a short amount of time. Like Leprous came to town. Amorphous was here. Symphony X was here, which just tore me a new one. Crazy local Canadian talent like Spectral Wound from Montreal was here. Wake from Alberta was here. Like I can fucking go on. Cannibal Corpse is coming in a couple of months. Everyone fucking comes here, man. It's really, really good.
So you say you're from Nova Scotia, but you moved to Toronto?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to that Cannibal Corpse Dark Funeral show.
No shit, and no fucking way in the Danforth.
Yeah, because I don't live far away. I live US Niagara Falls.
Are you serious, man? You're like an hour down the road.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know that. Dude, you want to get a beer?
Yeah, that'd be cool because I think I am going to that show.
That's awesome. That's fucking real cool. Fuck. Kurt from Cryophilic is from Hamilton. He's going to the show too. And so like that's two people on the show that on this thing that have been like, I'm going. So fucking that's gonna be wicked.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. I'm thinking about meeting up with the singer in Dark Funeral for the next one.
Oh yeah, cool.
If that happens, I'll say, hey man, you want to come? You want to be my camera guy?
That's fucking sick, buddy. Whatever help you need, man, get on that shit.
But yeah, I guess what else do you want to know about the documentary? I don't even know, like,
Oh, what? You don't know what to talk about? I could ask you all kinds of fucking shit, man.
Yeah, I don't even know if I answered your first question.
I don't even remember what my first question was. I'm just talking, man. That's what makes this type of organic fucking episode stuff worthwhile. Like, I do have a set thing that I go by, but it always goes out the window, man. I just riff with whoever's in front of me. Like, yeah.
That's good, because a lot of podcasts, well, I know I did it, and I still do it once in a while, where I'll just, list a few things and then go off of that. It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard, but like I have the gift of the gab, man. I can get conversation out of a fucking rock. It's pretty natural for me. I can talk. I'm into just letting the conversation flow. Like if it stalls or whatever, I do have a list of like stuff specifically that I want to talk about, or if there's any poignant things that I want to bring up, I'll make an effort to like divert the conversation to get there. So there's a little bit of like a spine going through the whole show, but like I'm not too much of a stickler on that. But but since you did ask, I wanted to I knew you were coming out with a new documentary. I didn't know it was about local bands, but I wanted to ask specifically, having gone through Exaltation and Aggression and the tricks of the trade and the mistakes you may or may not have made, what are you anticipating in terms of your methods going into the next one? Like, do you got a new fucking camera angle in mind? Do you know that you should recharge your batteries once in a while? Do you have a different fucking template altogether? Like what do you expect of yourself when you're moving forward with the second guy?
Oh,
thinking cap time.
So I have two things brewing up. Basically, and this is the first, I guess I haven't really talked about it except for the people in the project. So people don't know about this. But anyway, I'm filming a documentary. I was just doing it today, actually, with Buffalo and Rochester bands. Just specifically them, because there's a huge scene out there. And basically I just want to document it, because if I ever move or whatever, like I'll feel really bad if, I was a part of something growing up and I felt like I was a part of something, but I don't know, there was something like lacking, you know what I mean? Like just the fact of like maybe a few people like could have showed up to the show a little bit more, but just in general, there's a story to be told with that. And
cool.
I guess in the future I want to maybe tighten up the storylines in my documentary a little bit better and then make them shorter, because I feel like the last one was a little bit too long.
Okay.
But I don't know, I guess maybe not have as much gas, but maybe a little bit more of an in-depth story.
Okay.
Because I feel like the last one, I only had like a small amount of time for each artist, and some parts I had a lot of footage on my computer. I still do, but I had to cut it because I'm like, how much more time can I put into this? I mean, 3 hours, like nobody's gonna watch for 3.5, 4. Like,
Sure.
But I guess just developing like a stronger story.
Cool. Do you figure like the whole, I didn't even think of this until you had brought it up, but like when you have a narrative going through the thing, like a story, I'm sorry, do you think that you would yourself provide a narrative? Like the first one was just, I was all bands talking, which was great, But like, do you know what I'm getting at? Like you'd be doing the bands or something. I'm just spitballing here, but like you'd be doing the bands, but like you would have a story in which it was describing how the scene was or whatever the case may be. Would you be more, I guess, vocally involved in it?
I don't think I would be a great narrator, but I think that there's definitely some type of there's definitely some type of capability of that happening. But I guess I've never thought about that. I mean, like I just don't. I don't know. That I guess that's a really interesting question because I have no idea.
Yeah, fuck with that a little bit, man. It'd be I can see it. It'd be pretty cool. Your voice sounds good. It would carry well on a microphone. So there's that. And I don't know what the scene would be down there, but yeah, I could see something like I'm just picturing like if I did something similar in Halifax because it has its own little world of extreme metal. There's like 7 or 8 guys and they're all in all kinds of different bands and a lot of them play together and they've kept it going throughout the years, still a thing. And I can picture like narrating a fucking story as it was going through and having bits of like bands and stuff like that going in and commenting on it and like building a structure kind of thing. It's kind of fucking cool, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I have the equipment to do it. It's just the fact of like I'd have to really I don't know. I've never been the forefront in any type of project. I've never been the vocalist. I've always been the person in the back, taking the pictures or videoing in the back, you know.
Sure.
Somebody like people in the past have been like, hey, let's talk. And like, I don't know. I've always been the person to just not stick out. Like I've always been in the back.
Well, fucking, I can respect that, man. My whole life has been backstage. Like I said out and earlier, like I'm a guitar player. I've been playing for 25 years. I don't fucking play in front of people, man. That's not my kind of spotlight, you know. But there's something to be said for breaking comfort zones. I thought that like one of the like I never really had a problem in front of a microphone or public speaking or whatever. But to showcase a talent, I guess, as it were, was maybe a little bit. Maybe I'm just too modest for it or something. But to get in front of the cameras, like these YouTube cameras, and shoot some shit, I found it kind of comforting. And in saying that, or not comforting, but I found it just kind of easy to take to. And I would like say, like, you would never know until you try. And whatever you decide to do, if you were to give it a shot and scrap it, at least you tried. You never know what comes out when you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, you know, like, especially if you're not used to shit like that. The best way to grow, period, whatever you're doing, is to make yourself uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. And I feel like I mean the whole thing of what I've done with this is just making myself uncomfortable. I mean, the podcast was the fact that I just couldn't talk to people. I just started doing that because I was like, I like music, but I hate talking to people. And I mean that in the nicest way. It's just the fact that like I just kind of kept to myself a lot.
Sure, I understand.
But like I guess yeah. I mean that's kind of my thing too. Is just making myself uncomfortable. It's funny now you say that because the most fun I've ever had is just making myself uncomfortable, like learning and everything.
Dude, challenges, fucking jumping into shit you wouldn't expect. Being random is something that I'm working on. Like you could schedule my life, which is not appealing to me. Even when I'm saying it, it gives me a shitty taste in my mouth. So being abstract or like practicing spontaneity is an oxymoron, I think. But fucking, but like just making efforts to just not be predictable, for example, or whatever. Like whatever you can do to like switch things up, man. Like you're a young adult too. Like you don't know what you're fucking capable of. You should know that you're capable of a whole pile because look what you've done so far. You know, fucking like, and I would just encourage the narrative and the narrative speaking on the second thing is just like one pebble in the ocean of what you could do to challenge yourself to be a better person overall. And like the fucking sky's the limit, man. Like it's always going to be like a never growing or an ever progressing experience. Like I'm 40 and like I had never moved away from Halifax, but I knew I had to do it. And it wound up being the best thing I ever did. Other things that I've done have always been in the best interests of my mental health and my energy as a person. And I have no idea what your walk of life has been, but I kind of like to tell people whether it's welcome. Well, I shouldn't say whether it's welcome or not, but like I usually like my own experiences I find have worked out for my benefit, and I would never pass on any kind of like advices like challenging oneself and all that kind of shit if I didn't think it had any weight. And from one person who has been through a lot of that to someone who's like leaps and bounds doing what they're doing right now with the whole documentary thing, and another one come up the way, man, like fucking sky's the limit, dude. Like fucking push yourself in any fucking way possible, and the more uncomfortable it makes you feel, then the fucking better the result's going to be. And
yeah,
yeah,
I don't. I think complacency is the word of just like I don't know. Complacency is just the fact that I don't know. The second I start getting complacent, I just stop doing things. You know, just stop being artistic. So I mean, yeah, like, you definitely nailed the head on that.
well, fucking, it's lessons hard learned, man. What can I say? Yeah. I almost like complacency is one thing. There's like, did you like oh, here's one. Actually, no, I'm thinking about it. I've turned my notes off, by the way. Fuck those.
Yeah.
I guess nerves is something that took a lot of I guess work to get over, whether it's like public speaking or playing guitar. Anyways, all of those examples I gave before. Sitting in front of a YouTube camera was another one because I never exposed myself to the public in that sort of sense. You saying that you lean towards the introverted side of things, which I totally fucking get. How did you find yourself when you were like in the moments before you met up with the interviewer that you were in front of? Like, were you like, oh fuck, like, am I like, what, like, how did you handle that? Or does a switch kind of trip for you and like, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm about, and these guys are a tool and to which I'm getting from A to B?
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I would say, I don't know. Those are just my people, man. Like, like they just. I think, I think they just get me. You know, like I think that I think most people I've talked to or I'm gonna meet up with, like, I don't have a problem talking to them, just in general. But I would say, like, I don't know. I just had a hard time like fitting in growing up. Like I just I was never a sports person. I was never like I don't know. I just wasn't really talented at anything except art. Like I was always like third, fourth line on the hockey team or like third, fourth line on anything. Uh so I guess like the podcast helped me to be able to talk to just people in general. But yeah. I love
Dude,
all types of people. It's just, yeah, I just had a hard time growing up. Like, just, I don't know, finding my.
dude, fucking, I grew up in a town of 2,500 people.
Yeah.
I went to a school, a consolidated school from primary to grade 12, and had the same 11, 12, 13 students in this class from being a child to graduating, basically. I was neither Christian nor hockey playing. I fucking did not fit in. And I was listening to Megadeth since I was 8, and I was taking that shit to school. And like, I never, like, I'm saying this in terms of I can relate, man. Like, introverted. I fucking did not get along well at all. I disassociated myself. Like, I did the child therapy thing. Like, I was not fucking clicking, man.
That's me. Like,
disassociate.
Like,
yeah, fucking, but, and saying that, the similar upbringing, like those trials at a young developing age can really, like, if you put forth the effort to try and change it, like to try and work with what you've got when you're in like a young adult stage like yourself, like I'll bring it back to the sky's the limit tirade I said a little bit ago. Like that stuff makes you fucking stronger, man. That can be used as a very solid foundation. I have zero interest in moving back home. A lot of people who leave Cape Breton wind up moving back and retiring and stuff. I've got land down there and shit, and I have no plans to build down there. I made those years work for me the best as they could, and that's just a chapter that I don't want to go down anymore. It doesn't hold anything for me, kind of thing. It's again through those trials and tribulations at a developing age that I think made me like the stronger person that I am today, or at least I like to think that way. So I hear you on all that shit, man. Fucking can be rough growing up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say that I had a rough upbringing, man. Like, I mean, like my family has been great. I've never had any like, you know, things that kids have had to go through, like abuse or anything. Nothing like that. You know, but yeah, I think that just, for example, I mean, we just have a similar upbringing. That's why we get along. That's why, like, I can have a conversation with you, you know? Like,
Totally, man. For sure. For sure. This has been like a wicked ass conversation, man.
it's good. I think without a doubt. I mean, I'll be sure to share this all over.
I'm gonna share the whole thing through and through too. I'm gonna get off my non-social media posting ass and post myself some social media. It is one of my goals for the new year. Or no, I shouldn't say the new year. Like it should be like right now. I'm taking a break from work and I'm leaving Toronto to go back to Halifax to do some family stuff and prep for the next batch of interviews that I've got, which will take me to the end of the year. And I'm revamping everything from my social media attack to how the lights fit the room, maybe even a new plan or two, but I'm just sort of planning like a 2.0 kind of thing.
Okay.
And so like I won't be letting this episode this chat with you coagulate and not fucking get out there the way that it should be, because it's communication like this that people really want to tune into, man. I don't really find a lot of that stuff out there. I am talking to some podcast people who do got that, but like I don't know, man. I kind of think that this shit's hard to come by, like the organic stuff, and then you know what I mean, like, yeah.
And I mean, like, the podcast is cool because, like, it's totally different, man. When like you see like a band like crush it on stage, right? Like Necro Butcher. I just saw him play in front of thousands of fucking people in Vegas, and like. I met him like at a bar, like he was drinking a pina colada, and I was like, hey, I was like, hey man, do you remember when we talked like during the pandemic? He's like, yeah, man, you're the American. Like,
no fucking way, buddy.
Because like I don't know, we just had a conversation about this weird fucking shit. And I think, I don't know, once you get into that, why don't you just start building friendships and like learning about people that you respect? Like, yeah, it'll keep you going, man.
Oh,
You're just gonna be like, hey, like I talked to that guy, and he just played in front of thousands of people, and like I got to ask him whatever I wanted to ask. Like, you know, what shoe size are you? Like,
I thought it's so dope that you're able to fucking like do that kind of stuff, and like it has something to do with the community that we want to foster and build. You know what I mean? Like it's great. It's enriching. It's how I would define someone as being like a wealthy person. You know what I mean? To be able to say that they can do that kind of thing and recall and trade experiences like that. It's fucking dope.
Yeah, and I mean, I told this the last podcast I was on. He does the same thing as you, but anybody that I've talked to, I open up the door. If you can't get a hold of like any of them, just let me know, and I'll like dig up the email or whatever. And
for podcasty peoples.
Yeah, man. Like if you can't get a hold of somebody and I've talked to them, just let me know, and I'll do my best to like get a hold of them, and you can have them on your show.
I really would appreciate that, man. That'd be fucking awesome. And flip the script on you. Should you find yourself you want to do a Toronto-based noise dosage premiere, and you need a helping hand with wheels or someone to get you around, I'm handy behind a mic board. I know how to edit, whatever the fucking case may be, man. If there's anything I can do to help Jon Lambert do some Jon Lambert shit, fucking you're talking to the right guy, man.
But yeah, Toronto. I mean, okay, if we're gonna talk Toronto, I got to bring up Vox and Hops.
Oh, fucking Matt from Cryptopsy, yeah.
I think that you should really reach out to him.
He is on my bucket list. He is definitely on my list. I have not gotten around to getting in contact with him. I'm subscribed to his shit. He's very, very cool. I've seen them live with Cannibal Corpse a few years ago in British Columbia, and he's onto some great shit. And
Yeah.
I would love to have a chat with the guy. I love Cryptopsy. They're fucking dope. He's a wicked vocalist, and he seems very genuine too.
Yeah, I think that you would really enjoy that because he kind of has the same similar mindset, and just I don't know, he's just a good dude, a good person to talk to. And obviously he's from Toronto, so I mean, like, what the fuck? Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. I've got another batch of interviews that are coming up, but like, you know what? I'll reach out come closer to the new year. This whole talking to people who I guess aren't in bands and are not primarily musicians is something that I'm really enjoying. You're the first one. And like I'm totally going to pursue it. It opens up so many fucking doors and so many different insights as to like, you know, what they're about in terms of the music and what they do in life and that kind of shit. You know, not everyone's built at a fucking full guitar stack and a Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think that's the one thing I've learned is the fact that there's so many pieces to this puzzle of like a music like industry. Like, not everybody, like you said, is a fucking guitar player, man. Like, like I just talked to a dude that filmed like a Lamb of God video. I was like, hey man, let's talk. And like, I don't know, just like reaching out to people that don't really have that, like, that platform that that everybody talks to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I do.
everybody has a fucking story, like.
Yeah. Everyone's got a story, and the common thread of this, at least my project, is that we're into similar musical tastes. You know, and if you use that as a line going into it, you can come at them from whatever walk of life that they're at.
Right. And I mean, like, I just reached out to this dude. He directed a really cool documentary called Afro Punk.
Okay.
Basically, it's about how just African Americans have had a really hard time. Well, they had a really hard time just being, like, welcomed in the punk scene in the beginning. And I just thought it was a really fucking good documentary. And I was like, what's his email? How can I get a hold of him? And yeah, he hit me back up and we just got to schedule a date. But I don't know. I guess my advice to you would be just look at any type of media platform or content differently. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who filmed that or who did that, or I don't know.
Interesting. You know what? I never thought of that. You know what would be fucking sweet? Maybe I should start get into sound engineers, for example, like a string of fucking bands of who I'm into. Like, I know, like, Eric Rattan is an example. You know, he's in all kinds of shit, and he's in Cannibal Corpse right now. Like, to get a hold of people who just like have maybe a sonic signature and fucking find out how they go about their stuff. Dude, that's a fucking wicked idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I started like my podcast and it was just musicians. And then I was like, all right, let me talk to some videographers in the metal scene. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or just, maybe something that you're trying to, like, for example, I'm learning how to do video. It would be cool to talk to people that are really good at video.
Usually helps.
But I don't know. It's just an interesting way to think about things.
Oh, it's a totally fucking different angle, and related to the same shit. Like, you kind of just lit a fire under my ass there, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go through my fucking record collection now. and find out some sonically pleasing shit and see what the link is between other bands that I might have. Are you a record collector at all?
Okay. I have a love-hate relationship with vinyl. Just the fact that it costs so much. Honestly, the way that I support bands, shirts, and show up to their shows.
Merchant tickets, of course. Well, yeah, fucking, yeah.
I don't really do vinyl.
I don't either. I'm a CD guy.
Yeah, I'll do CDs. But I don't know. Plus the vinyl, they fucking bend with the heat and all that kind of stuff.
Oh man, I fucking had this conversation with Fractal Generator, and like we're of the '90s child, you know, collecting pogs and that horse shit, and CDs was, you know, right in there at the peak of the compact disc laser dealy do, and that never went away from me. And we were weighing the differences between like the romanticism between vinyl and like the cold digital means nothing that is MP3s and that kind of stuff, and like CDs are like kind of in the middle. They're compact, like little insert, like if you're moving all over the place in life, like they fit in some boxes as opposed to milk crates of vinyl and shit. The way I support the band is I typically buy from them themselves, yeah, or their labels, or I'll do like a table swipe of whatever they've got on the merch table at a show. Spectral Wound was the last band who I went to go see, and bought all their shit that they had because it's impossible to fucking find online.
That's cool. I don't know. I've been on this this thing about just buying patches. Like,
oh, you're a jacket wearer? Do you fucking rock the? Yeah, you do. Oh yeah, there it is.
Okay, so
look at that shit.
Yeah.
Nice vitriol button. Dude, right on. Very clean. I fucking like that.
And then the back, wicked, man.
Got the portal going.
So
Gatekeeper. Cattle to get.
This is from Travis. He sent it to me personally on fucking Depop and signed it.
No, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Look. To John.
Dude, no shit.
Yeah. To John.
Fucking awesome. That should be like behind some glass.
Yeah, but I don't know. Honestly, this is where I spend most of my money in merch nowadays.
Yo, yeah, I can see why. That's a baller jacket, man.
But
I never got into the patchwork. I don't I don't wear band t-shirts. I wear black constantly as per what's required of my job. But I'm pretty clean cut when it comes to like wearing the gear. I've been wanting to get back into wearing some band shirts, but I fucking don't know why I'm not. Maybe I used to, but you know, here I am now. I don't know. Not much more I can say about that. I'll still buy the fucking music though. That's an expensive hobby. Holy shit.
I mean, I have way too many shirts. You have way too many vinyls, so whatever.
Yeah, fuck, it is what it is, man. We all have our vices. I'm gonna continue buying this shit until they just don't make that stuff anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's super important to recognize the fact that you gotta support the bands, even if the shirts are like outrageously. You could tell they're just way too expensive. Buy them anyway, dude, because like, I mean, most bands don't make shit. I don't care if you're like huge. Like the conversations I've had with those huge bands, they tell me, they're like, yeah, we make enough money to make it home. And like, and I think that a lot of people forget the fact that like there's really not a lot of money in art like it used to be, you know. Like you gotta support like the people that are gonna fucking, you know, push out music for you, or they're just gonna like fade away.
Yep, absolutely. We all gotta make a buck, man.
Yeah, they're just not gonna have the money to make the art, you know.
But, yeah. I'm 100% stand behind that statement, man. Absolutely. If like I said earlier, if the CDs and the vinyl stop, then you know, I'm buying digital downloads. You know what I mean? And like I'll pay top dollar to go see anyone around here and be a part of what they're putting out.
And I will say that, okay, even though I don't support, well, sorry, I don't buy vinyl. I go to a lot of shows, man. If a band is playing, I'm more than fucking 95% there.
Yeah, for sure. You seem like the type.
Like I don't know.
What's making you come over to fucking Toronto to see Cannibal Corpse? They're not coming up your way?
Well, they're not coming up this way, and I want to see Dark Funeral. I love Cannibal, but I've always wanted to see Dark Funeral.
Yeah, I've never seen Dark Funeral live before. I actually kind of forgot they were opening for them.
Yeah, but
that's gonna be pretty sick.
Plus, I don't even know. Well, it's only like an hour or something away, but who the fuck else is playing on that tour?
I don't remember. I'm not sure. Either way, I'm gonna show up fucking right for the opening act. In fact, my podcast, the Metal Devastation radio show that I do on Sundays wraps up an hour before the opening band starts over there. So I'm gonna do like a whole fucking find out who is actually playing on the bill, play some tunes from them while I'm having a drink or two. Stop the show, off to the fucking concert.
So okay, okay, we're done talking about me. I'm gonna ask you questions.
All right, man, fire away, baby.
I guess like, I mean, I know that you do like the YouTube podcasting, but what else? I didn't know that you had like a radio show or something.
Oh, dude. Okay, so this YouTube thing was born out of a like a radio dealie that I do online. I'm a DJ on MetalDevastationRadio.com, which is one of I think America's oldest fucking metal playing podcasts, and they're based at I can't remember the base, Tennessee, I think. And I had been doing the radio thing online for about 3 or 4 years now. And I started off on Pure Rock Radio, which is now defunct. And I was talking to Zach, who's the owner of MDR, and jumped on their platform, and I've been there since. And I'm live from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Sundays. And I'm just playing my collection and talking a bunch of bullshit in front of a mic. It is 100% ad lib. There's no script. It's a lot of fun. I use it primarily though, man. I use that radio show as a filter to discover new music, and what I mean by that is I'll use YouTube or go on review sites, find out about some bands and stuff. They go on a list. And if they pass like a specific set of like expectations or whatever that I might have, I'll buy some of the stuff off the Bandcamp, and then I'll load it into the playlist for the show. And then there'll be a segment called fucking "Is Thomas gonna buy this shit?" And then I'll load like 2 or 3 songs up on the playlist, and I'll cold listen to them. I've never heard them before. I won't I've never heard it from them, and I'll hit play, and then I'll just dissect the shit while it's live on air, and then I'll make a decision right there if I'm going to go buy the album or not. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I do it. There's a chat room that's there, and there's other DJs and other people who listen to the thing, and like they'll fucking be like, "Oh, that song's dope," with these guys. You never heard of these guys? You're a tool. Buy that, you know. And then I just use that as a means to cultivate my collection. Really,
that's cool. So it's like, yeah, you know what? That does sound pretty cool because you're always exposing yourself to new music.
Got to, or else you become a stale fucker.
Yeah, you become like one of those old guys that are like, in the 90s, it was really good, and nowadays, it's not.
Old school death metal or nothing. Cement mixer, grindy. I'm a fucking. I listen to all kinds of shit. It's not just that. Well, I mean, the Evisceradio radio thing is like an extreme metal deal, but I listen to all kinds of shit, man. Like I'm big on New Orleans music from the 70s. I kind of like rockabilly a little bit. I fuck about with rap sometimes. Whatever sounds good. Basically. Other shit that I got going on. the YouTube thing is kind of going to be the main concentration because I feel like it's got the most weight. It's way more presentable. You have to catch someone to tune in at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. a specific time. So like there's more draw to the YouTube shit because they can click play whenever they are. You know what I mean? Like there's no live thing. I'm starting up another YouTube series set to begin at the beginning of next year. I think it's from me and a buddy of mine, a very close friend, another music fan. It's called Record Breakers. And what it is it's an album dissecting thing. It's not specific to metal. It's about anything. And we're going to be sitting in this space, and I got a big fuck off chalkboard that's going to sit right there, and with markers and stuff. And we talk about an album, and we, for example, go through like song 1 in order to song 9, and like discuss maybe track layout and how it would sound if we were to flip stuff around. And like the relevance of the album, like in terms of when it came out, and just sort of riff about the album that way. And it's more of just sort of like not so much the banter between us because we talk really well together, but like the way he looks at music is pretty different from the way I look at music, right down to the way he fucking plays guitar, and just how he absorbs the shit. It's a very cool dynamic. We figure let's throw some fucking cameras in front of that stuff and see how that goes. And selecting the next album is totally random, and there might be like a dartboard somewhere, or like it could be a tournament, paper scissors rock, best 2 out of 3, or guest submissions, or whatever the case may be, to pick the next album. So we don't have any predetermined preparation for, you know what I mean? Like it has to be like, okay, we got a week or whatever to like listen to an album, whether it's on a drive to work or at the gym or whatever, and sort of like get to know a piece of work that way. And it's all in the name of fun. It could turn into $1 million. It could turn out to be nothing, but it will be fun. And I'm pretty sure that's all the time I've got in terms of fucking like projects, because I'm going to need like an 8th day and like a couple of 30-hour days in there, man. Yeah. But I'm finding all kinds of reasons to explore my musical territory, is where like the Evisceradio thing is still my primary. I love doing the radio show. There's some local talent in town who are like, there's one DJ in particular who I'm going to have a meeting with, who has like an FM radio, like an actual turn the radio with the tune, like that radio. Yeah. And like they could wind up going down that avenue. I have no idea. Like there's no aim for that kind of thing. It just feels right. And that's where my concentration is, but it's not the be all and end all. There's other things I want to do. So
that's cool, man. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, like, I'm thinking back to the album dissection videos, and I kind of like that because I go to my friend Alex's house once in a while, and he shows me this guy. He's like super proficient in like music theory. So like he'll take like a band like Car Bomb or like Between the Buried and Me, and he'll like dissect it, but from that perspective. So I don't know if are you gonna be doing it off of theory or just the fact of like what it sounds like?
Oh, what it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not theory based at all.
Because I know that channel, like people love it. Like people love just like, for example, they like picked apart like Meshuggah's Bleed.
Uh-huh.
But
I'll have to check this out. That sounds dope.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him who it is, and then I'll send it to you. But
yeah, drop me a DM on Instagram. That sounds really, really cool. There's no theory. I mean, it's still in its incubation thing. We've yet to test pilot an episode. We're going to start with P-Cells, Megadeth, because we're extremely familiar with that, and just sort of get our dynamic down. But our whole mode will probably, like, it could very well change into something else. We might even drop Record Breakers because something had come up in our first couple episodes. We're like, we should fucking roll in that direction, you know? So we have a blueprint, and we're just going to start there and see where it goes.
That's cool, man. Well, yeah, because I didn't even know that you had anything brewing. I thought it was just like this. Like,
Well, I mean, I thought it was going to be this for the longest time too. Like, I haven't. There has been no thought as to like announcing anything. Like, I mean, he's got a life. He goes to school. Like, I work constantly, and I have this thing. Like, and therein lies the scheduling deal. Like, once we and like, I'm not going to be able to take on all the editing myself. I'll straight up just don't have enough fucking time. So like, there's nuances that need to take place in order for this to be like an announceable deal. Yeah. Even though I am sort of saying it now on my own fucking platform, but it is something that I do want to do, and we'll just see if it has any weight and sort of go from there. Like I said, like way earlier in this sit down, man, like it's all about the journey. Like it's, to the projects, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I will say, like, what you're doing with this, thinking back, I guess the only thing that really made it easy for me to continue doing this is the fact that, like, I don't really edit much. I throw an intro in and fucking send everything else. I'm like, everything else is raw, man. Like, a lot of people spend so much time like editing, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want the real fucking deal.
Yeah.
I want the ums and the let me correct what I just said, like.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I hear you, man. It's like you want the raw, unfiltered, uncut fucking here's what it is.
Yeah. But that's cool, man. So what else? I guess I don't even know what fucking band you're in. What band are you on?
I'm in fucking the Thomas Brooks band, man. Or what band am I in, or what band am I on? What do you mean?
I don't know. Are you in a band?
Fuck no, I don't have time for that.
Okay, so do you have a solo project or something?
I'm kind of in the works of starting one. I have 3 or 4 songs that are written.
Okay.
And I need to record them. I have all the equipment and materials needed to do that. I have session musicians for the most part that I'll hire out to play the parts. And then the goal is I do have something available that I can send you that is like, I guess, complete. And then everything else I plan on releasing, recording and releasing as like maybe like a 5-song EP sometime next year. The guitar playing stuff that I do is like, I do define myself as a musician. But I just like, I've always been like a bedroom player, but I have the chops, and I at this point in my playing career know that I can play well. So I may as well put that stuff out there in the same vein that I'm doing this kind of thing here. There's no working name for it. I just want to write some music and have it sound great and put it out there. In the same instance as I want to have a cool ass metal project and put it out there too.
Is it a metal? Like, do you write metal music?
I do not write metal music. I have zero interest in playing metal. Zero. Awesome. Yeah, I don't fucking want to play it. I used to have the Jacksons and the fucking Mesa Boogie stacks, and I could rip fucking solos left, right, and center. I sold all of it. I don't own any of it anymore. I'm straight up acoustic. I fucking do. Okay. I'm gonna send what's that back there?
It's my girlfriend's guitar. It's a Fender.
Hey man, fucking acoustic guitars are dope to have around though, buddy.
But that's funny that you say that, man.
Man, I'm gonna send you a song once this interview wraps up, and it'll give you an idea of the type of shit that I play, and you're gonna be like, this guy fucking has a death metal YouTube channel.
Oh, now I'm curious. Is it more like indie, or is it like country?
Neither. There's not much of I don't know, man. I'm not going to go as far as to say that it is something that I haven't heard before, but I am struggling to come up with comparisons.
Is it like the tap?
There is a little bit of it, but it's not the fucking spanky YouTube acoustic fucking guys that just wail on the guitar. That's not my style. I play a lot of melody type stuff. The song that I'm going to send is just about a simple 8th note melody kind of thing. It's nothing fancy, but it is very pretty with a very cool story behind it. I'll explain that one to you too. And then, but the stuff that is going to be coming out in the next 12 months, let's say, is a mega fucking improvement. It's a guitar showcasing kind of thing. It is technically cool, but it sounds great. I really don't know. I struggle to come up with like, if you've heard of this person, then that's what I sound like. I really couldn't tell you.
I wouldn't say that either way. I'd be like, it sounds interesting. It sounds original, man.
Well, I fucking, I'll go as far as to say that it is original because I haven't been listening to people that meant like that. I've been like, I'm going to try and come up with some shit like that. It's just sort of what came out. I've been playing for like 25 years. So like my fingers just do what they do. And I think it is a sound that I can say that I have. But I think I will leave the comparisons up to you. Maybe you've heard something that it might come out. The song that I'm going to send you is like a pretty good indicator of like how I think in terms of melody. You'll dig it. Like, I mean, it's good. It's pretty sweet.
Dude, I love acoustic. I mean, that's kind of where I've been veering recently. So
no shit.
Yeah. But yeah, fuck. I mean, there's so many good musicians out there. It's fucking so hard.
It's so hard to find good stuff, and for every one good one, there's like 10 piles of crap that are next to it. And not to shit on anybody who is
my pile of crap. It's probably my pile of crap you're talking about.
well, wait now. What do you got stuff out?
Yeah, I mean, like I've had bands when I was younger, but like, yeah, they were crap. Like, I mean,
well, I mean, everyone puts out their own music, and like, it's harsh for me to say that like it's crap. I'll just go and say that it's not for me. But like, in order to find stuff that vibes with me, like it can be taxing. Like I've had a number of, when I was saying earlier about using the radio show as a filter for good music, like, how many stinkeroonies I've had on there, like thinking like these guys would be good, and like, but therein lies the fun thing too. Like when I have some music that just isn't great, and like I'm not trying to talk it up because it's on my show, I'll be like, well, that didn't fucking work, Next song. It just makes it kind of more fun because I'm real about it. But I do want to up my acoustic guitar record collection, as it were, because it is something that I am passionate about. I got like 5 hours of practice in today, which never really happens. So just tightening up some stuff for getting ready for some pre-recording type of shit. But when that stuff, sorry, go ahead.
I think acoustic is it's very intriguing. Like to me, like I used to be like, the acoustic's okay, but nowadays, like I listen to more. There's this project called VALI. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
But I don't know, man. Like these metal guys, they pick up the fucking acoustic, and then like I don't know, they just like, I guess they like they look at the instrument a different way, and
Yep,
like
sure.
especially like black metal guys, they pick up the acoustic, and I don't know. Everybody thinks it's a G chord, the D chord, and everything like that. But there's so much more that could be done on an acoustic that people just, they're just.
It's an extension of oneself. You know what I mean? I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. There's things on the acoustic guitar that I didn't think I could do that I do incorporate in terms of what my sound is. Like there's all kinds of stuff that you can discover. It's an object that like a bipedal human can manipulate to do their own thing. It's kind of incredible when you just think of it, instead of a man playing a guitar or a woman playing guitar or whatever, that like it's just a being holding an object, and like you can get to do all kinds of funky shit, all kinds of stuff. It's like the sky, like I keep saying this, the sky's the limit, but it's fucking true.
Yeah, and I think the acoustic, I don't know, simplicity is just so key with acoustic. I mean, like that's where metal sometimes gets a little convoluted, because like everybody's shredding and this, that, the other thing, but then like, okay, here's an acoustic, play like a super simple song, and like I don't know.
You're gonna really like the song I'm gonna send you. You're gonna, if you like simplicity, beauty and simplicity, song, you're gonna dig this, man. You're gonna dig it.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say is beauty and simplicity. Like, I mean, that's why the acoustic is such a great instrument.
Yeah, I'm fucking a big fan of it. I've got two acoustics. One's a Taylor, like your typical Taylor. I was extremely fortunate to stumble across a company called Breedlove, which is a luthier built guitar from Oregon, from Bend, Oregon. And it is easily the nicest guitar I've ever fucking played. I got it for a song, and it's a one of a kind. I think there's only one that was ever made. It lived in a case for like 12 years, custom build, and that has really added a whole bunch to how I attack the instrument, and it really has started to set set the word I'm looking for, fucking set the bar, I guess, for like the type of instruments I want to have at my disposal, because like I find like I can't really play the Taylor anymore because it doesn't sound like anything even close to this kind of thing. So quality of instrument is another thing to really consider.
Oh, without a doubt, especially acoustics, because like I played ones in the past where they just don't resonate, man. There's no like airflow. And I don't know, like the one back here, I just like picked it up. She had it, and I was like, "This sounds fucking awesome."
Right, man.
And ever since, I'm like, "Hey, can I borrow this?" Like,
and there it is.
But yeah, and the funny thing that you said about that is the fact that Taylor is like the bar. That's where the bar is. But like, I feel like,
I don't know, man, not anymore.
well, that's what I mean. Like, you got these people like woodworking at home, and like, some of the cheapest instruments sound the fucking best, man. Like,
That's true too. Sometimes the cheapest instruments are like ones that don't pop out at all visually, fucking just kick a lot of ass.
I got this pile of shit. It's a Jackson Dinky.
Oh yeah, okay.
My friend, it was my best friend's guitar. It's a pile of shit, man. But there's just something about it where like it's just, dude, it's just got the tone. It's got like, I don't know, like I've played $1,000 guitars, man, but like I pick up my $150 Jackson, like,
And it hits fucking right every time.
yeah.
Yep, I know exactly what you're saying, man. Sometimes the wood is just built right. Sometimes your fingers are just the right like the right shape for it. Like an inanimate object can fit with a fucking human being in just a weird way. Like someone else could pick up that guitar and be like, I don't get it.
Oh
You know?
yeah. And I know that's true because my brother picked it up. He's like, "Hey man, I was playing your guitar earlier. It's a piece of shit." Like, he's like, dude, like it just wouldn't stay in tune. It was just, the strings were too floppy. I'm like, because it's not yours, it's mine.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I can tell it's mine, because only I make it sound good, bitch.
Well, I wouldn't say I make it sound good. I just think it plays good.
Well, hey man, if you think it plays good, that's a great fucking segue into making it sound good.
But
Yeah.
But that sounds good, man. I mean, I'm glad to hear that you're motivated on your projects.
Dude,
It's really good to I don't know, just talk to people and they're just still going at it,
yeah, buddy. Fucking likewise, man. It's refreshing to know that people such as yourself are out there just doing stuff straight up for the love of it. People have ulterior motives like money or whatever other reasons might be, but just people just 100% into it because of the love of it, man. Like that's a dying breed of shit, man. So like it's a great thing to have at your disposal, man. It's a good mineral that you should hang on to, and I have no doubt that whatever ventures you wind up doing are gonna have the same stank on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't I don't even know what the future holds for what Noise Dosage is, man, because like the zine, for example, I don't know if I'm gonna do another zine. Like I don't know, like I don't know.
You don't have to fucking know. Like who says you gotta know? Like
that's what I mean. Like I don't.
Yeah. You're just doing shit, man. It sounds to me like you're a very present individual, and just roll with that. That's how you tackle your shit, man. Like you want to do another documentary, so you're going to. The magazine doesn't happen again, then fucking so what? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Or like say this next documentary might be your last one, and then some other kick-ass thing that is metal centric will like envelop you, and you'll be all about that. And it could fall under the Noise Dosage moniker, or it might not. the fact is that you're on a particular trajectory of like just doing and being is fucking awesome. And I don't know a lot of people like that. I've had the fortune of like being able to talk with a number of these people on this platform, and I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by some of these people in my life. And but like to know someone, but you would be the youngest, and like to know that like and to know that like you're off to a start like this, like dude, fuck man, like I wish I was like that back then. So like I fucking really want to congratulate you on what you've done, and I really look forward to the shit that you are going to do. And I really look forward to fucking hopefully it lines up. We're seeing you in Cannibal Corpse, man.
We're gonna make it happen.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. We'll line that shit up. We're running at about like an hour and a half now, which is great. But I think I'm gonna wrap this one up.
Yeah.
It was an absolute pleasure to talk to you, John, man. You're fucking hella sweet. And I'll send you those tracks, and we'll line up the Cannibal Corpse stuff, and I'll be talking to you throughout, man. Thank you so much for sitting in with me.
Over a Molson Canadian beer or no?
Moosehead.
Okay.
We're gonna do Moosehead, baby. We'll do Moosehead. All right, man. Thank you so much, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you, man.
Take care. Holy shit. I didn't know he was 23 years old. Do you know how fucking cool that is for someone that young to be releasing quality content like that about something that he's passionate about? That gives me hope for the future. Jon Lambert, man, you're onto something real cool, man. You just keep being you, and everything's going to be all right in your world, man. I guarantee it. If you haven't already, head over to noisedosagemedia.com and watch his first documentary, and keep an eye out for the second one. Whatever this guy does in terms of his talents is going to be good. He's a very fucking cool individual, and whatever he winds up doing in life is going to be quality, top-notch shit. I'll be watching out for him, and you should be too. And be sure to head over to his Instagram and his Facebook and give a thumbs up and a subscribe. And while you're at it, give Evisceradio a thumbs up and a subscribe, and hit the notification bell ding thing, because this campus got a lot of cool interviews coming up too. I got some real sweet ones coming up in the next couple of months, and you're not going to want to miss it. Very excited to share with you guys what these are going to be. It's going to be cool and dope, just like the one you saw here. Can't wait to get into it, and I can't wait to share that content with you. Be sure to head over to his Instagram and his Facebook and give him a thumbs up and a subscribe. And while you're at it, give the Evisceradio shit a thumbs up and a subscribe. Hit the notification bell ding thing, and keep your ear to the ground as to what's going on in my world, because I got some real sweet interviews coming up in the next couple of months. They're going to be hella dope, just like the one you saw here and just like the ones that came before it. Some very good content is coming down the pipe, man. You are not going to want to miss it. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. My name is Thomas. This is Evisceradio, and I'll catch you on the next interview. Yeah.